So, hello. And today I'm talking to a lovely guy called Rob who came to us for a little bit of help with anxiety, and he's agreed to kindly give us a little video testimonial to hopefully help some other people out there. Nice to see you again, Rob.
Hi, Mark. Yeah, all right.
I'm good. I'm good. Always good. So, thank you for agreeing to do this. Really chuffed. Just tell us a little bit about why did you approach us? What was it you were needing some help with?
Yeah, so there was a series of traumas I'd gone through from various different things, just one following on from the other and the other. That was just all starting to get a bit much. Starting to start getting panic attacks in the night, waking up, struggling to breathe. Sort of had tried a more traditional like talking route that hadn't done anything, and reached out to you back in earlier in the year. To see if we can make a difference.
Yeah, okay. So you mentioned you tried some other therapies before. Why do you think they didn't help?
I think it was too reflective. So I think because of the nature of where I was, I needed to move forward with positively. And where I'd gone before, which was just talking, all it was doing was just bringing it all back up and not really doing anything with anything of it. So I was just going back over the old stuff, which was just getting me more wound up again
Yeah.
without really moving forward.
That's quite common. So what sort of anxiety symptoms were you seeing through all of this?
The worst one was the waking up in the night, sort of having dreams, and then waking up not being able to breathe, which was then taking was pretty much all morning to then come down from. Didn't have the tools to deal with that. There was then times just sort of breaking down in tears and sort of overwhelming feels of sadness
Hmm.
and things like that.
Good, good. And how did you find the process of us working together?
Very good, very good. I came up the first one. I'm really glad we did that in person. Just to sort of come and sort of just see you face to face and do that first session. Sort of just away from like the normal life, just to sort of step out, do that, and then bring those techniques that you gave me back home and start incorporating them throughout the process.
And what did you find as a result of starting to use those techniques that you took and you practiced?
So the most significant is the panic attacks have almost dried up. So from going from three, four, sometimes five times a week, getting woken up like this towards just before I spoke to you, in what it will be 4 months, 5 months now, I've had two.
That's
So
excellent.
that's massive reduction. And obviously that makes dealing with the world a much easier place when you've actually slept a bit better and not had that to deal with during the night.
Yeah. And so you touched on before your previous therapy was all about talking about the problems in the past.
Mm, mm.
And the way that we like to work, unless we have to, is we prefer to focus on the positives and where we go in life. And how did you feel? What was the difference in those two types of therapies?
That was the difference maker for me because we obviously when we had our like fact finding session, just that sort of half hour before I came up to see, that's the only time we ever really talked about what had gone on because there's nothing, you can't change the past. There's nothing
No.
we can actually do about that. And what I needed to do was move on from that and actually move forward. So in the past, where, as I say, I tried something where just talked about it, all I did was dragged up all those feelings of frustration and anger and stress, and then not had anything then to deal with it, which didn't seem to be helping. Whereas when we spoke, as I say, we never spoke about any of it except for that first session, just so you knew where I was coming from. And everything was about moving forward and being positive, about replacing the negative feelings up here with positive ones.
That's
So
it.
that was much better for me.
Good, good. I'm really pleased to hear that. And you did mention to me, I know, towards the end of your last session, that your friends were starting to notice a difference in you.
Yes, yes, they did. I had met my best friend for coffee just before our first session. And I know she was very concerned at that point because she started texting every day. So that we're, really worried in that. And then I met her again after about our second or third session. And she commented, what a difference, what a much more positive. She said, I was really worried about you last time. I'm not so worried about now. Told her obviously what had been going on, what we'd been doing, the work we'd been doing. And that made was obviously making a noticeable difference.
Yeah, yeah. And the difference I saw in you from that first session to your final fourth session was quite dramatic.
Yes.
The smile on your face at the fourth session when you were back in control and feeling a lot better was very, very different. But the difference is you put the effort in and did the homework. And this is why we get these results. And you
Yeah.
mentioned we used a mix of both you coming into the clinic and working
Mm.
online. How did you feel about working online?
It was okay. I was okay with it, but I'm glad that we did the first session face to face. I'm more comfortable face to face, and I'm okay face to face even like this on Zoom, so I can see you. I
Mm,
would have been less comfortable just with a telephone conversation, but it was important to me that at least the first session we
mm.
came and we built that relationship face to face, and you had that real interaction. After the first session, I was more comfortable with doing online. And then when it came to the last session, I wanted to come up as well, just to sort of finish off in there. So it worked well for me. I was happy with both methods. I could easily see the benefits in. I think what I'm trying to say is I didn't see any detriment by doing some sessions online,
Yeah.
but equally I did enjoy coming up and doing it face to face.
Good. Yeah, it is interesting. Since lockdown, we've been doing a lot more work sort of online, and we're getting the
Yes,
same results, but it's interesting that some people are a little bit hesitant.
yes.
So, if you were to go back to when you first contacted us, and I think you were a little bit hesitant then, because it was
Mm.
something new and you weren't too, what would you tell that version of yourself with what you've learned now?
Stop messing about and get in touch. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, the you're right. I was hesitant. I think I had a bit of a sort of negative perspective on mental health treatments. Through friends, colleagues who've not really had good experiences, not really had the support they needed. As I say, the steps I'd taken through sort of more sort of like backward looking channels weren't very positive. So I was a bit skeptical. And in hindsight, yeah, I wish I'd sort of found out about you a year ago as a port and reached out then because it made such a difference.
Well, thank you for that, Rob. You've really put the effort in, and I'm really pleased to see you've got the benefit. And thank you for doing this because it helps other people. And for anybody else out there who's thinking about should they reach out for help, we always start with that free assessment consultation where we'll give you half an hour on the phone. That's usually the most important part for people because then they realize they've got choices in the type of therapies they go for. And let's see if we can help you as well. Thank you so much, Rob.
No, thank you, Mark. Thank you.
And thank you for watching.